Engines are going dead silent just for a few seconds, and then when the lights go on, we'll hear the engineers arrive. Here we go. We're about to go lights out here at Silverstone. And his lights out and away we go. And it's a solid start there from the front two. Matimovic slightly better than Green Pies, but I think Green Pies is going to cover him up coming up into Abbey. It looks like he holds on to the lead for the time being. The McLaren is in the lead there. We've got Matimovic sat in second just behind. He's actually been jumped there by GDBO by the looks of it. GDBO is up into second place. We've got Brown Recluse sat in fourth. He's just got ahead of Gold Standard there. He's got himself up into fourth place. Gary's already up into sixth. Great start there from Gary on the outside of Penguin Dude. They're side by side on the exit of the loop coming out into the Wellington straight, but Gary chops him off and is up into P6. Leon Fernie in eighth just behind Penguin Dude. Kieran Argent Unorthodox still in P10. We've got Jaffa Cake just behind him, and it looks like we've got Leon Fernie trying to make a move here on Penguin Dude up the inside, and there's a bit of bodywork there. A front wing end plate goes flying there. I think that was off the McLaren of Penguin Dude as Leon Fernie barged his way through, but Penguin Dude's back up the inside for Luffield, and looks like he's back up into P7 there. Jaffa Cake just behind these guys. Manu, Big Boy Brazier, Kieran Argent. Dan has had a horrible first lap. Unorthodox is down to P13. DJ on his back for the final podium spot here. We got Magfire, Derby Bay, Matty Pitt pretty close also in Max GT, sticking to the back of these guys reasonably well. Raki third, a couple of seconds behind in 8th place. The Grieve there on the back of Raki. You got Horatio in P10. Magfire has got ahead a Little Grievy. Little Grievy's lost out to both of them here, so Magfire and Derby Bay up into 3rd and 4th respectively. Derby Bay are looking to try and make it 2 moves in the space of a couple of corners. Oh, he cuts the inside of the centre axis there. Derby Bay all over the place. Magfire holding on the inside for turn 3, as we now see Little Grievy trying to get back involved in this once again, but Derby Bay and Magfire side by side down towards turn 4. What is going to happen here? We see Derby Bay trying to go down on the brakes. Magfire pushes him out. Verstappen-esque there, and Magfire gets himself back up into P3, and now Little Grievy follows him through up into 4th place. Magfire very aggressive there as they came onto the brakes, but he gets to P3 as a result. Is he going to hold on for the rest of this final lap? As Derby Bay trying to do a Hamilton on Albon there on Little Grievy, can't get it done, and that's given Magfire just a moment to regroup. Max GT getting himself into P6, had a Matty Pitt here. Oh, what a dramatic final lap this is, as we see Max throwing one down the inside of Derby Bay, but Ulrich Alfist is coming out at the final corner, out of Junksel up towards the checkered flag here at Brazil. He's going to win the final race of the season here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Ulrich Alfist comes up towards the line to take the Brazilian Grand Prix win. What a great drive from Ulrich Alfist. Snapstream comes over to take a second place here in this race. Magfire is going to complete the podium after that very aggressive move into turn 4 ahead. But here comes just Jose out on the last corner. Abu Dhabi bins it. I don't know whether that was intentional or whether that's just because he's burned his rear tyres out, but he comes up towards the line. It is the champion, it's the race win, and I believe the fastest lap as well. Just Jose takes the checkered flag at Abu Dhabi. He's Motive Racing's Formula 1 champion for our first season here on F1. Looking like he's moments away from the championship here. It was looking like it was going to be a game for life in the early part of the season. We went into Silverstone. Johan took his first win of the season at Silverstone. It was his long-awaited first win. He came close to a win in the first round of the season at Bahrain, but that all got away from him. He then proceeded to take 5 out of the next 6 races. 6 out of the last 7 here have been taken by Johan. He's about to take his 7th win in the space of 8 races. He is currently on the most incredible purple patch that we've seen in the Formula 1 League here at Motive. In towards the final chicane, Johan, with 4 rounds left in the season, is going to extend his gap in the championship to 108 points. With 100 points left on the table, he takes the checkered flag, and Johan is the Season 2 Formula 1 champion on the PlayStation platform here at Motive Racing. A big congratulations to Johan. What a drive, what a season. Game for life. One of the best drivers here that we've seen at Motive in the commentary box alongside me. As unfortunately he's out of the title race for this season. Horatio was the other driver who could have denied Johan. He wasn't here tonight to do it. Pretty proud to see Johan's performance tonight. We have got Johan in the box. He joins us in the booth here. Hello, welcome along. What a season from you, mate. 7 wins from the last 8 races. Insane stuff. What a season from yourself. How does that feel? 4 rounds left in the season. You're a Motive Racing champion, Season 2 on the F1 game.
Yeah, felt great actually. I mean, I was kind of inconsistent, a lot of mistakes. But I think after my holiday, I kind of improved myself. It was very nice.
Engines are going dead silent just for a few seconds, and then when the lights go on, we'll hear the engineers arrive. Here we go. We're about to go lights out here at Silverstone. And his lights out and away we go. And it's a solid start there from the front two. Matimovic slightly better than Green Price, but I think Green Price is going to cover him up coming up into Abbey. It looks like he holds on to the lead for the time being. The McLaren is in the lead there. We've got Matimovic sat in second just behind. He's actually been jumped there by GDBO by the looks of it. GDBO's up into second place. We've got Brown Recluse sat in fourth. He's just got ahead of Gold Standard there. He's got himself up into fourth place. Gary's already up into sixth. Great start there from Gary on the outside of Penguin Dude. They're side by side on the exit of the loop, coming out into the Wellington straight. But Gary chops him off and is up into P6. Leon Fernie in 8th, just behind Penguin Dude. Kieran Argent, Unorthodox, still in P10. We've got Jaffa Cake just behind him, and it looks like we've got Leon Fernie trying to make a move here on Penguin Dude up the inside, and there's a bit of bodywork there. A front wing end plate goes flying there. I think that was off the McLaren of Penguin Dude as Leon Fernie barged his way through, but Penguin Dude's back up the inside for Luffield, and it looks like he's back up into P7 there. Jaffa Cake just behind these guys. Manu, Big Boy Brazier, Kieran Argent down has had a horrible first lap. Unorthodox is down to P13. DJ on his back for the final podium spot here. We've got Magfire, Derby Bay, Matty Pitt pretty close, also in Max GT, sticking to the back of these guys reasonably well. Raki third, a couple of seconds behind in 8th place. The Grieve there on the back of Raki. You've got Horatio in P10. Magfire has got ahead of Little Grievy. Little Grievy's lost out to both of them here, so Magfire and Derby Bay up into 3rd and 4th respectively. Derby Bay are looking to try and make it 2 moves in the space of a couple of corners. Oh, he cuts the inside of the centre axis there. Derby Bay all over the place. Magfire holding on the inside for turn 3, as we now see Little Grievy trying to get back involved in this once again, but Derby Bay and Magfire side by side down towards turn 4. What is going to happen here? We see Derby Bay trying to go down on the brakes. Magfire pushes him out. Verstappen-esque there, and Magfire gets himself back up into P3, and now Little Grievy follows him through up into 4th place. Magfire very aggressive there as they came onto the brakes, but he gets to P3 as a result. Is he going to hold on for the rest of this final lap? As Derby Bay trying to do a Hamilton on Albon there on Little Grievy, can't get it done, and that's given Magfire just a moment to regroup. Max GT getting himself into P6 out of Matty Pitt here. Oh, what a dramatic final lap this is, as we see Max throwing one down the inside of Derby Bay, but Ulrich Alfist is coming out of the final corner, out of Junksel up towards the checkered flag here at Brazil. He's going to win the final race of the season here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Ulrich Alfist comes up towards the line to take the Brazilian Grand Prix win. What a great drive from Ulrich Alfist. Snapstream comes over to take a second place here in this race. Magfire is going to complete the podium after that very aggressive move into turn 4 ahead. But here it comes just Jose out of the last corner. Abu Dhabi bins it. I don't know whether that was intentional or whether that's just because he's burned his rear tyres out, but he comes up towards the line. It is the champion, it's the race win, and I believe the fastest lap as well. Just Jose takes the checker flag at Abu Dhabi. He's Motive Racing's Formula 1 champion for our first season here on F1. Looking like he's moments away from the championship here. It was looking like it was going to be game for life in the early part of the season. We went into Silverstone. Joram took his first win of the season at Silverstone. It was his long-awaited first win. He came close to a win in the first round of the season at Bahrain, but that all got away from him. He then proceeded to take 5 out of the next 6 races. 6 out of the last 7 here have been taken by Joram. He's about to take his 7th win in the space of 8 races. He is currently on the most incredible purple patch that we've seen in the Formula 1 League here at Motive. In towards the final chicane, Joram, with 4 rounds left in the season, is going to extend his gap in the championship to 108 points. With 100 points left on the table, he takes the checker flag, and Joram is the Season 2 Formula 1 champion on the PlayStation platform here at Motive Racing. A big congratulations to Joram. What a drive, what a season. Game for life. One of the best drivers here that we've seen at Motive in the commentary box alongside me. As unfortunately is out of the title race for this season. Horatio was the other driver who could have denied Joram. He wasn't here tonight to do it. Pretty proud to see Joram's performance tonight. We have got Joram in the box. He joins us in the booth here. Hello, welcome along. What a season from you, mate. 7 wins from the last 8 races. Insane stuff. What a season from yourself. How does that feel? 4 rounds left in the season. You're a Motive Racing champion, Season 2 on the F1 game.
Yeah, felt great actually. I mean, I was kind of inconsistent, a lot of mistakes. But I think after my holiday, I kind of improved myself. It was very nice.
Engines are going dead silent just for a few seconds, and then when the lights go on, we'll hear the engineer drive. Here we go. We're about to go lights out here at Silverstone. And his lights out and away we go. And it's a solid start there from the front two. Matimovic slightly better than Green Price, but I think Green Price is going to cover him up coming up into Abbey. It looks like he holds on to the lead for the time being. The McLaren is in the lead there. We've got Matimovic sat in second just behind. He's actually been jumped there by GDBO by the looks of it. GDBO's up into second place. We've got Brown Recluse sat in fourth. He's just got ahead of Gold Standard there. He's got himself up into fourth place. Gary's already up into sixth. Great start there from Gary on the outside of Penguin Dude. They're side by side on the exit of the loop, coming out into the Wellington straight. But Gary chops him off and is up into P6. Leon Fernie in 8th, just behind Penguin Dude. Kieran Argent, Unorthodox, still in P10. We've got Jaffa Cake just behind him, and it looks like we've got Leon Fernie trying to make a move here on Penguin Dude up the inside, and there's a bit of bodywork there. A front wing end plate goes flying there. I think that was up the McLaren of Penguin Dude as Leon Fernie barged his way through, but Penguin Dude's back up the inside for Luffield, and it looks like he's back up into P7 there. Jaffa Cake just behind these guys. Manu, Big Boy Brazier, Kieran Argent down has had a horrible first lap. Unorthodox is down to P13. DJ on his back for the final podium spot here. We've got Magfire, Derby Bay, Matty Pitt pretty close, also in Max GT, sticking to the back of these guys reasonably well. Raki third, a couple of seconds behind in 8th place. The Grieve there on the back of Raki. You've got Horatio in P10. Magfire has got ahead of Little Grievy. Little Grievy's lost out to both of them here, so Magfire and Derby Bay up into third and fourth respectively. Derby Bay are looking to try and make it two moves in the space of a couple of corners. Oh, he cuts the inside of the centre axis there. Derby Bay all over the place. Magfire holding on the inside for turn 3, as we now see Little Grievy trying to get back involved in this once again, but Derby Bay and Magfire side by side down towards turn 4. What is going to happen here? We see Derby Bay trying to go down on the brakes. Magfire pushes him out. Verstappen-esque there, and Magfire gets himself back up into P3, and now Little Grievy follows him through up into 4th place. Magfire very aggressive there as they came onto the brakes, but he gets to P3 as a result. Is he going to hold on for the rest of this final lap? As Derby Bay trying to do a Hamilton on Albon there on Little Grievy, can't get it done, and that's given Magfire just a moment to regroup. Max GT getting himself into P6, had a Matty Pitt here. Well, what a dramatic final lap this is, as we see Max throwing one down the inside of Derby Bay, but Ulrich Alfist is coming out of the final corner, out of Junksel, up towards the checkered flag here at Brazil. He's going to win the final race of the season here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Ulrich Alfist comes up towards the line to take the Brazilian Grand Prix win. What a great drive from Ulrich Alfist. Snapstream comes over to take a second place here in this race. Magfire is going to complete the podium after that very aggressive move into turn 4 ahead. But here it comes just Jose out of the last corner. Abu Dhabi bins it. I don't know whether that was intentional or whether that's just because he's burned his rear tyres out, but he comes up towards the line. It is the champion, it's the race win, and I believe the fastest lap as well. Just Jose takes the checkered flag at Abu Dhabi. He's Motive Racing's Formula 1 champion for our first season here on F1. Looking like he's moments away from the championship here. It was looking like it was going to be game for life in the early part of the season. We went into Silverstone. Joram took his first win of the season at Silverstone. It was his long-awaited first win. He came close to a win in the first round of the season at Bahrain, but that all got away from him. He then proceeded to take 5 out of the next 6 races. 6 out of the last 7 here have been taken by Joram. He's about to take his 7th win in the space of 8 races. He is currently on the most incredible purple patch that we've seen in the Formula 1 League here at Motive. In towards the final chicane, Joram, with 4 rounds left in the season, is going to extend his gap in the championship to 108 points. With 100 points left on the table, he takes the checkered flag, and Joram is the Season 2 Formula 1 champion on the PlayStation platform here at Motive Racing. A big congratulations to Joram. What a drive, what a season. Game for life. One of the best drivers here that we've seen at Motive in the commentary box alongside me. As unfortunately is out of the title race for this season. Horatio was the other driver who could have denied Joram. He wasn't here tonight to do it. Really proud to see Joram's performance tonight. We have got Joram in the box. He joins us in the booth here. Hello, welcome along. What a season from you, mate. 7 wins from the last 8 races. Insane stuff. What a season from yourself. How does that feel? 4 rounds left in the season. You're a Motive Racing champion, Season 2 on the F1 game.
Yeah, felt great actually. I mean, I was kind of inconsistent, a lot of mistakes. But I think after my holiday, I kind of improved myself. It was very nice.
Engine.
sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are here for the second round of the Formula 1 Championship on the PlayStation 4 and 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. A slightly wet, not completely washed out, but it's definitely damp here at Imola for what was the host of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in the Formula 1 season earlier this season. My name's Andy, as you may recognise, and I'm not alone this time. I'm not riding solo in the commentary box. I'm joined by my old partner in crime here for the Formula 1 League, and that is my very good friend. Should we go by your real name or your PlayStation name? Emo Guy 97 joins me in the commentary box tonight. Welcome along, mate. Great to have you with us here for this one. It is. Absolutely. I mean, you were out on track last time out at Bahrain for the season opener, but unfortunately for yourself, you've got a bit of an ailment at the moment. Obviously, we're not going to go into too much detail. Some people will be aware of what it is, but for those who are not, Iain has had to go into hospital for an operation a few days ago, and he's still recovering from it. He's not fully 100% physically, but he said to me, you know what, get me in the commentary box for this one, because I fancy doing something on my Friday night involving racing. So yeah, good to have Iain alongside me once again in the commentary box. We did the F1, pretty much the whole of the F1 season for the season 1 together in the comms box. Similar story really. He started the season, but then after a few races, I think, was it the F1 2020 game, you just weren't enjoying it, or I can't remember how it happened now. I think one day you just joined me in the box and then it became a regular thing, didn't it? Yeah, definitely some incidents occurred, but we can't remember what it was. We don't know who kicked Iain out of the driver lineup and forced him to commentate. It actually wasn't me, believe it or not. But no. But anyway, we're here for the qualifying session here for the second round of the Formula 1 season here at Motive, and we've got 15 cars out on the track. I don't know if we might have some more waiting in the lobby, because I did see a couple of drivers join at the start of the qualifying session, so we could be seeing a few more than the 15 cars that we got on the grid at the moment, or out on the track should I say. But yeah, I'm sure we're in for an absolute treat here this time around then. Last week we saw Aldrich Avist taking a race win, but Joram, the champion from last season, didn't really have the race that he would have wanted last week. He crashed out in the early stages. Very unlike Joram to see him crash out in the early stages of a race, or indeed crash out at all, but especially only 5 laps in. So he'll be looking to try and right the wrongs of last time out and get off the mark and maybe get a win, especially with Aldrich Avis not here tonight. It's a golden opportunity for Joram to actually, possibly, he could even be level on points with him after tonight. Ian, what do you reckon is going to be going through the champion's mind at this point? Ian, I've just noticed something. You haven't enabled your mic. It's not showing. You might have to do the party settings as well. Game for Life's just told us in the comments section, apparently you're not audible on the stream. We just double check, but apparently you can't be heard. Yeah, it's very, very faint. You can hear you through my mic, but that's all you can hear. So if you go to party settings and then enable yourself on other people's audio, that's what you need to do. So let me just double check, mate, because so you need to go to party settings, so you need to tick all the boxes. So sorry guys for the blue screen. So chat audio, you got it? Yeah, party settings is always the let's just double check. So you need to go to party settings, so chat audio. Party settings is always let's just double check. A bit faint. Wait, say something quickly.
Testing 1 2 3.
Say something quickly.
Testing 1 2 3.
Right, I think we're good. We are back on here, thank goodness for that, so we can now hear Imola. Looks as though Snapstream's lost his front wing here. The provisional pulse hitter has had a bit of a moment there in a similar spot to where we saw George Russell lose his what would have been his first ever points finish in Formula 1 last season when he was driving in, not last season, it's 2 seasons ago now, when he was driving in the Williams. So Snapstream's going to have to hobble back to the pits, but he's currently got a tenth of a second of a gap at the top of the leaderboard over Thibaut boy. Thibaut, I don't know if he's a fan of Thibaut Courtois, but I know that Thibaut Courtois, big sim racing fan, raced in the not the F1 series back during the first COVID lockdown. But we see Joram there has just gone to the top of the leaderboard. Look at that, he's gone 6/10 quicker than Snapstream. So
yeah, that's what I was saying, just as you were told by our friend in the chat that nobody could hear me, that it definitely seems like it's going to be an interesting time for Joram during this race. If we don't know what the weather is predicted for the actual race, whether the best weather is to continue from qualifying over to the race, or whether it's to be bone dry throughout the race, but right now it's looking like Joram might just have to continue across everybody else in this wet weather as it stands. We don't know if anybody else is able to top him right now, as it's only been a few laps for a lot of people. So right now, in terms of the championship, it's definitely looking like Joram might have a free ticket here back up to the top, or the chance to be able to level himself with the championship leader as it stands right now.
yeah, absolutely, it's definitely looking like Joram could definitely try and bounce back from that major bad start to the season that he had. I'm having major problems here on the stream. Every time I click off of that tab, it's minimal, and I can see why now. Because it's maximised one of the other tabs. Oh, OBS is so complicated. I can't. It's oh my god. Seriously, it's not designed for simpletons like me. Seriously, but I mean, I'm not. Thing is, like, I'm not actually dumb. I'm just a bit of a simpleton. I'm not thick.
It just takes you time to.
I'm not thick. I'm just simple-minded. I'm just simple-minded.
Oh.
I'm not thick.
Well, it's if you think of your mind as a computer, all your RAM is being used by one thing.
Yeah, you have limited resources. You can't actually delegate all your resources to multiple things. You know, that's multitasking is, and it's just too difficult. I find that I don't have the required resources to be able to dedicate to all of these different causes. But right now we've got Thebo Boy, the only driver in the top 5 currently out on the track. You've got Little Greavy on a flying lap. He's 4/10ths up actually, coming through the middle sector, so he's on a good one here. Maybe he might be able to get himself onto the front row possibly. He's not too far off with Slapstream's time, only half a second behind as he's coming up towards the line. What can Little Greavy do here? He comes over, he does go P2, goes a 10th of a second quicker than Slapstream, but still no one really in the ballpark of Joram at the moment. Joram is absolutely light years ahead of the others at the moment as it stands.
Yeah, he's still managing to keep the gap to the rest of the field at just over half a second. It definitely seems like tonight might be Joram's night, barring any major issues on track or with his vehicle. As I was just looking at one of the Alpha Touris there, and looks like his lap was just completely ruined. Oh, he just went straight off the track. Oh. Yeah, he just went straight into the wall as he was coming down that back straight to try and avoid one of the Hasses, and I believe it's second place that he just tried to avoid.
Yeah, it is. So Little Greavy there is trying to come through, trying to set another fast lap time, trying to close that gap to Joram, which at the moment is looking to be pretty much unassailable. And yeah, he's got work to do here for sure, but that's not going to help him in any way, shape or form. That's not going to help his cause in his quest to try and find that half a second, and he's backed out of this lap that he's currently on as a result probably, so he's trying to find some clean air. The inters tend to last a little while. There's no real risk of tyre wear as long as it doesn't dry out, in which case you're absolutely royally screwed, but as long as that doesn't happen,
it's going to be like turkey all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like some horrid greasy surface, and there's no actual happy medium. But yeah, currently Little Greavy trying to find some space. The Alpha Tauri there, Devo Boy is going to need to come into the pits and get that changed. He's got some major damage there, so he's going to have to get himself in and sort that one out. But we've got Derby Bay currently 2 seconds up on his. But no, that's not right. He's 600ths up, coming through the first sector there, coming into the hairpin. Oh, big slide there from Derby Bay, and he does well to catch that. But that's going to be his lap, pretty much. That's going to put a nail in his lap there. Any chances of improving? A. Thompson knows on a good one. He's half a second up coming through the middle sector. He's got just a couple of corners left to go. He's going to come down the hill towards this. It's tricky to call it a hairpin because it's double apex. It's kind of like it's 2 turns in one in a way. I wouldn't really call it a hairpin. It's more of a U-bend. But a U-bend is opens up a whole other can of worms using that term. Yeah,
because this is the very same corner that got Lando Norris's lap deleted.
Oh, A. Thompson goes P2.
Oh, nice. It's the same corner that caught Lando Norris out of his a pole position here during the 2021 season. Yep. He just got both his tyres over that white line, and it was. I'm almost sure everybody that was watching was just absolutely gutted. I know I was. Yeah. It was horrible for him.
It was, because it would have been his best qualifying to date at that point by some way as well, because he's generally he's very quick. Is Lando, but McLaren, hadn't been in a position to really challenge at that point, and it's clearly a track that suits him extremely well. And and ultimately having that chalked off, because everybody thought that he had qualified P2, and it wasn't until after the session that we found out that he had exceeded track limits, was it? Everybody thought he'd done it, and then on the in lap, suddenly it gets brought back down to earth again. Just noticing on the timing board there, Game for Life has almost pipped Joram. 500ths of a second separating those two. Game for Life did a bit of commentary with us at the back end of last season, was joining us for a few of the races, obviously was challenger in the first part of the season last season for the championship. Has currently got the upper hand on Joram so far in the points, just simply down to the fact that Joram retired from the first race. Game for Life put in a good performance last time out. He started 18th on the grid, clawed his way back up into P6 by the checkered flag. Oh, as we see him getting loose there out of the hairpin, and he's going to, he manages to keep his front wing intact, but I think that's going to have a bit of damage there, a bit of invisible damage on the front of that McLaren, so I can't imagine he's going to be able to do a faster lap there then. But Slapstream's currently coming through the middle sector. He's 2/10ths down on his personal best, so Game for Life, despite hitting the wall there, I don't know if that was a bit of lag, despite hitting the wall, he's 900ths up. So I don't know whether he just kept his foot planted or whether that was a bit of... No, he's not. He's lost 4 seconds. I thought that was wrong. So the timing board there, I think what happens is when you flick to a driver during qualifying on the F1 game, what happens is you see their last sector time. So it's coming up saying that they're a tenth up or whatnot, but it's actually their previous checkpoint before you flick to them, if you see what I mean.
Where are you seeing this? I'm not seeing that.
If you flick to another driver, you'll see what their previous sector point was, what their previous gap was coming through the last sector checkpoint. And at first I thought to myself that it must be his time that he was doing at that moment, but it wasn't. It was what he had done previously, if that makes sense.
Oh, right at the top right, yeah, I've seen that now, yeah.
Yeah. So you have to put the lap data on in order to be able to see it. But that's that one. But anyway, Slapstream's got a little bit closer to the top spot. He's only 3/10 now off of Joel Ram. Derby Bay's currently got pretty close as well, only 4/10 behind. A. Thompson in 5th, Little Greavy 6th. You've got half a second separating the top 6 drivers at the moment, so it's extremely tight. And considering it's a little bit damp out there as well, it's very, very evenly matched, these drivers. This is the last opportunity for these drivers.
Slapstream is up by 2 tenths, coming into the final sector.
Yeah,
and he's just invalidated his lap.
Oh no, has he? Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
My track map at the bottom right is red.
Oh no. Slapstream, I think, might have shot himself in the foot in the final part of this lap. Let's see what he does, see what time he puts on the board anyway, because this could be a bit of an indicator as to what sort of fight Joram's up against here. He comes over the line, he backed off by quite a bit there due to the track limits. So everybody else has hit the checkered flag. Can Joram rub salt in the wounds here and go even quicker? Slapstream has retired from the session. Not really sure why. There was no real need to do that. I suppose he just didn't want to have to drive around to the pits, but Joram's backed out of it. The provisional pole sitter's done enough here, and he's going to cruise into the pits. So it is going to be the reigning champion to take the second pole of the season here at Imola, and he's going to try and close that gap to Aldrich Alvis at the top of the board. Game for Life will be looking to try and kick on, maybe even take the championship lead this week. Derby Bay also will be looking to this as a good opportunity. Bennett LCFC, a quick driver, surprising to see him down in 9th place. You've got A. Thompson racing as a reserve tonight, making his return to the Motive Leagues. Raced with us a few times last season, but then had to pull out. Oh yeah, Mark Bow. Yes, did he move up the order or did he stay?
Yeah, he was in 13th, I believe, and he moved up to 10th.
Ah, nice one from Mark Bow there. So he climbs up the order up into the top 10. I think that's everyone over the line. It says Rednass is coming into the pits, so he's not going to improve. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be that then for the qualifying session here at Imola. So Joram on pole, Game for Life not too far behind him, only 500ths of a second between these two at the top of the leaderboard. This is going to be incredibly close, and we saw before Game for Life hit his sort of mid-season dip in form last season, and Joram managed to score, I think it was 6 wins in a row in the mid-season. Before we got to that point, Joram and Game for Life were very evenly matched, and it was actually Game for Life who had that upper hand in the first part of the season last season. We know he likes the tracks at the start of the calendar. It's more the back end of the season where he starts to struggle, so Game for Life will be wanting to put that pressure on early on here. But looking how close that leaderboard is, Ian, I think we're in for a treat as we see Lilo King is leaving and joining the session non-stop there.
Just while we've got a little bit of gap between qualifying and the start of the race, just a little bit of F1 news. That Alfa Romeo is actually going to be changing their name. I cannot pronounce the first part of the Alfa Romeo F1 team's name. It's the sponsor name, if you know what I mean.
How do you spell it?
They're dropping that and they're just signing up as Alfa Romeo.
Sauber, Alfa Romeo Sauber.
No, it's I cannot for the life of me remember.
I didn't even know they had another part to the name, I'm not going to lie.
It's under car, so it begins with an E, I'm sure. If somebody in the comments could tell us before I find out, then that's fair, but I'll try and find it myself.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not aware, to be honest. I didn't know that Alfa Romeo even had another part to their name. But here we are then anyway, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 9 people watching on the stream at the moment. Guys, if you like what you see, please drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe as well. As I've noticed, I've looked at the analytics earlier today. I noticed that 40% of the viewers on our streams are not subscribed. So, first of all, why. But secondly, please do. If you enjoy what you see, if you want to see more of this, then hit the bell as well, so you'll be notified when we're live in the future. Join us at www.motiveracing.com. Get yourselves onto the Discord server if you have a PlayStation, and if you'd like to get involved in this sort of thing. As we see, AA Ratchet in the comments there says, "Good job, lads," with the rocket emojis there. Excellent to see. But here we are then, we're about to get going for the formation lap, and we are off and away.
I've just found out what it is. It's the Orlen part of their name of the Alfa Romeo team. Yeah, they have Alfa Romeo, then they have Orlen on their car. Yeah, they're dropping the Orlen part.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Ireland was part of their name, to be honest with you. That's a bit of a bit of a revelation, that one. So here we are then. But
it's a title sponsor, so it is. Well, it was.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair blues. I mean, I knew that they obviously were called Alfa Romeo Sauber at one point. I don't know if they still are, to be fair. But
actually, no, I think I might have this a little bit twisted. I think that they're going to be coming. The Orlen are going to be becoming a title sponsor. I'm not. It's not as because I'm on their official website just
now. It's a new thing.
Yeah, I'm on their website just now, and it says Alfa Romeo F1 team Orlen ready for 2022. So I've feeling that the Orlen was just a regular sponsor beforehand. Now they've changed it to a title sponsor.
So it's like when Infinity were at Red Bull, and they were sponsored by Infinity, but then they changed to actually Infinity Red Bull Racing. I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Same thing as that then. Fair dues. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But well, here we are anyway. We're coming down the hill. It's about to start the second round of the season here for the Formula 1 League at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Here, my guy, I've got to ask you the $1 million question. We do this every time. We got a packed out field here, and we've got plenty of drivers in with a chance. Very close qualifying session. But who's your money on for this one? Who do we reckon for race win?
Well, given what the information that you've told me about last season, what between Gel Ram and Game for Life, it's hard to ignore those two. But the top, I believe it was the top 4 or 5. They were all so close. So I'm going to go for like in between those 5. I'm going to go for like a mid area. I'm going to say Derby Bay is going to be in for a good shot here.
Fair play. I'm going to go with Game for Life because he's starting on the medium tyres here. He did his flying lap on the medium tyres in the qualifying session. Incredible time considering that he's on the slower tyre. It's going to be more durable, and it's going to put him in a good position here at the start of this race. But we're about to go racing here at Imola, and it's lights out and away we go. And the cameraman's just panning out here. Here we go. So looks like Game for Life got a very poor start. The traction on the medium tyres not as good as the soft. Jarm's clear away. Slapstream up into second place. You've got Thebo Boy making gains here at the start. Already up into 4th place there on the outside. As we see Derby Bay getting swamped there down to P6. And Game for Life had a nightmare at the start. Game for Life is off here. He's down to the middle part of the track here. But it's currently Jarm leading the race ahead of Slapstream here. And Thebo Boy in 3rd place, A. Thompson 4th, there's Derby Bay, Little Greavy, Bennett there in 7th place, ahead of Magpie to Grieve, Game for Life down to P10, Mark Boracchi, then we got Rednass getting ahead of Lilo King dropping behind Horatio, Polish My Balls is at the back of the field at the moment, but it's Joram leading up the hill, first lap here, and Slapstream still sticking to the back of him at the moment, only half a second between those two as we see Polish My Balls making a move around the outside of Lilo King up into P15.
I'm sorry, I'm going to end up laughing at that name every time you see it.
Polish My Balls, I know, it's brilliant. Honestly, mate, the first time I ever saw that name, I was cracking up. I commentate on a league called Excel on Wednesday and Sundays, and I stream them to this channel, actually. I stream them to Motive. And the first time I saw that, I was almost like, just spat my... I happened to be taking a sip of my drink at the time, and I always spat it out. It was brilliant.
I've Polish My Balls. If you ever watched that stream, honestly, 10 out of 10 for imagination. Honestly,
it's like something. It's like something you'd say to the new person, like at your work or something, isn't it? It's like polish my balls, scrub, or something like that.
That's continue, sorry.
No, I was just going to say there. It looked like Thebo Boy was making a move, eyeing up a move on Snapstream there. Soft tyres for Thebo Boy. Having a look. We see Polish My Balls has got ahead of Horatio here up into 14th place down the inside into turn 1. But at the moment, Joram's trying to break that DRS range. At the moment, though, Slapstream's just keeping on to him as we see Game for Life has made the move on the Grieve up into 9th place there.
What's going on here?
I don't know, what is going on? Oh, we see the Grieve having a move back on Game for Life there, back down the inside, and Game for Life's going to have to hold this around the outside of the hairpin. Up the hill they come. Double wave yellows through sectors 2 and 3. You're right there, Ian. I'm not sure why. Oh, Lilo King's been disqualified for being parked up in a dangerous location on the track.
There was no dot there. There was nobody there.
I think he might have had the AI in the car.
Yeah, because the AI just came round turn 6, and then that's when it disappeared.
Yeah, that was it. It was coming through that part of the track. We saw there was some kind of just somebody vanished there into thin air. Yeah, but we've got Game for Life here trying to make moves. He's already got ahead of the Grieve on this lap. He's now going to try and make the move on Magfire as well. Side by side coming through this final double left hand. Oh, Game for Life tags him there. Oh, Game for Life can't keep out of trouble this season. He's tagged the back end of Magfire. Magfire gets away with it and continues on his way. But we see Game for Life down to the back. P15 here in this race. That is not what he would have needed at all after a shaky start to this one. Qualified so well on the medium tyres. He's already really up against it as we see Thebo Boy again close on Slapstream. DRS will be enabled this lap. It hasn't been enabled so far, but that will definitely aid Thebo Boy in his quest to try and get ahead of Slapstream.
I think the FIA might need to pull that Ferrari aside, because with my eyes, his driver is not wearing a helmet.
Oh, hold on, where? Who? Slapstream?
Yeah, he's not wearing a helmet on Mastron.
Oh my god, Slapstream, what's he doing? Yeah, same for me as well.
What is going on?
Well, he's trying to do a Mark Webber here by the looks of it, but Mark Webber only did it after he had finished the race and he was retiring, so he wasn't going to get any penalty for it because he was retiring. Oh my goodness. Oh, we see A. Thompson trying to squeeze through Thebo Boy in the background here, down to P4, so A. Thompson getting himself into the podium spots. Slapstream here though is a sitting duck on the medium tyres. He's just holding these guys up, and A. Thompson now looking to the inside here, coming into the final corner. Can he make this stick on the inside there? Slapstream's going to try and hold it around the outside. A. Thompson completes the move. What's happening? Is it Horatio or Game for Life?
Horatio, it looks like he got cut out by the fast double right-hander, so he did.
Yeah, and he almost lost it there on the exit of the corner as well. Thebo Boy's got himself ahead of Slapstream and A. Thompson down the start-finish straight. DRS wide open, Slapstream coming back at A. Thompson there, up into third place. Can A. Thompson fight back? No, Slapstream gets him ahead of him up into that podium spot, but we see there Rednass has made the move on Mark Bow down the inside of turn 1, up into 10th place, into the final points paying position. Joram though, we haven't really spoken about him so far in this race. He's just checked out at the front. 2.8 the gap.
Yeah, it's currently a 2.8 gap, and one of us could have very easily have called him for the win, but we wanted to be a little bit optimistic. But I did say that Joram did have an open door to try and get as many points as he can on his championship rival, given what happened in the first round last week. So right now he's taking advantage of every single chance he can get.
Yeah, he really is. He's doing an excellent job right now. But we've got Game for Life on the back of Polish My Balls. Damage imitation here in this one for Game for Life already here in this race. And we see a safety car. Oh no! Well, if there is going to be a safety car, he could be the one triggering it there. But we see Game for Life in the wall. He's going to have to get that going quickly. Yeah, he has lost one of the end plates there. So that's going to be a double wave yellow through sectors 2 and 3, but no major damage. So ultimately, no safety car at this point. Yeah, no safety car, just down to the fact that it's only minor debris, and plus there's a big gap in the middle, so they can probably just rush onto the track and get that sorted before the pack come round again. But we got Slapstream there losing out to A. Thompson now, so A. Thompson back up into P3, but Thebo Boy starting to break away from these two. I think they might have had a bit of a ding-dong because these two have now dropped off of Thebo Boy by quite a bit, and Bennett, LCFC and Derby Bay are reeling them in quite quickly here. Little Greavy there in 7th place on those mediums, also in a good position. You've got to remember that Slapstream and Little Greavy both started on the medium tyres, so they've got that strategic wild card in this race, which will serve them quite well later on. Raki Polish My Balls.
Sorry, on you go.
No, I was going to say Raki Polish My Balls and Horatio are all in the same boat as well. Game for Life pits for soft tyres though.
Ah. So I was going to say that according to the Amazon Web Services sponsor that comes up during every race, including real ones, real world ones, that for the tyre predictions, that according to that, most of the medium tyre runners right now will most likely be going onto the hard tyre during the first pit stop.
Okay, so this could be a one-stop race, you're saying? This race could be.
According to from what I saw of the AWS prediction chart, that is a possibility for a lot of these drivers.
I imagine for the guys who started on the mediums, that could be a real possibility. We see Magfire here making a move on Little Greavy down the inside into 7th place there into turn 1. Nice move there from Magfire on the soft tyres. He needs to make that move quickly, otherwise he was going to get held up no end by that medium runner on the Haas, but we currently got Slapstream on the back of A. Thompson at the moment as well. These two battling out over the final podium spot. They've lost a bit of time to Thivo Boy over the last couple of laps, but Thivo Boy not really making an impression on the race leader Joram at this point. Joram has just got this under control for the time being. But you say about the strategy here, Ian, and that could play a real factor with guys like Slapstream here, because obviously he started out on the medium tyres and he's reasonably prominent as well. We lapped 6 of the race, and obviously the medium tyres are usually around 8-9 of a second a lap slower than the soft. He's obviously in the middle of the pack as well though, and Joram has really had an opportunity to break away at the start of this race. So Slapstream in a very decent position here, and maybe he might get DRS on this on the car in front here of A. Thompson. So possibly he might have an opportunity here to get himself into those podium spots as we see them coming out of the last corner. I think he has a little bit.
I think he has a little bit of an aerodynamic advantage here, not having a helmet.
Yeah, I think we've just got to gloss over that one, because that's probably a flaw in the cosmetics of this game. I think probably that he's passed the FIA safety regulations. We've got to imagine. We just got to imagine that his helmet is a perfect carbon copy of his head and his fire suit. That's what we've got to imagine. We've got to imagine that somebody's painted his helmet in basically with a fire suit and a person's face on, a bit like a face mask. When people can get their face, a picture of their face on their face mask. It's a bit like that. We've just got to imagine that's what's happening here with Slapstream's helmet. But right now he's on the back of A. Thompson here, and he's trying to keep himself in the hunt here because he's in a good position in the strategy. Oh, as you see A. Thompson getting a bit sideways, and Slapstream there had to take a slight bit of evasive action, which would have lost him a bit of time to the leaders. But at the moment Joram's still pulling out the gap at the front, and there's not really too many battles going on at this point. It's kind of settling down, except from Bennett and Starby Bay, who look pretty close at the moment, as we see those two coming down the hills. But
it looks like your pick for the possible win today has really went down the toilet tonight, Andy.
Yes, it truly has. Yeah, I mean he's down in P15, and the commentator's curse. We all know, we all understand it, we all respect it, we all honour it. It is a real thing. Yeah, Slapstream around the outside of A. Thompson up into 3rd, and Derby Bay has done Bennett as well there. So 2 moves in the space of basically a couple of 100 metres of each other, and ultimately Slapstream is now up into the podium spots once again. And for Derby Bay, they're doing a good job, as Ian said there. Ian's picked for the win. He's 9 seconds off for the lead at the moment on the soft tyres, so he's got work to do. But who knows? We could be seeing some safety cars coming into the mix.
Is it even though I never picked Slapstream for my choice to win this, I will say that the all Ferrari and Italians will be absolutely jumping at the fact that they have a Ferrari on the podium right now in their home country.
Yeah, they really will. The Tifosi are going to be absolutely delighted, and maybe that's the reason why he hasn't got his helmet on. Maybe he wants to be able to hear, maybe he wants to be able to see. He wants the Tifosi, he wants the adoring Italian fans to be able to see him in the flesh as he drives a Formula 1 car around at 200 miles an hour.
He wouldn't have to drink.
With untold amounts of wind blowing in his face. And
he wouldn't have to drink though.
Ultimately, he's massively exposed to any flying debris or anything that might be thrown his way. But he's probably of the opinion he can cross that bridge when he gets to it, if he survives. But at the moment he's still got P3 here. Derby Bay keeping Bennett as well. Yeah, no, as long as we don't have anything like that, we should be good. But Derby Bay at the moment still keeping Bennett behind him. We see those two separated by 0.8 of a second at this particular point. But Joram's actually not pulling the gap by as much as he was. Thivo Boy, now that he's actually well clear of Slapstream and A. Thompson, is really starting to pump the laps in, and he's matching the race leader at this point. So I'd say Thivo Boy is not completely out of the picture for a win here. I think he's a member of Excel, because I saw when I posted in the Excel Discord, does anybody want to come race, and he was immediately responding to, I think it was him. It's a similar name to Thivo, so I'm pretty sure it must have been him. And he was straight up there. He's immediately was on that like a car bonnet, which is obviously great to see. And I think he's one of the guys who was jumping in from the XL Discord tonight. So obviously he's taking his opportunity with both hands at the moment, but Slapstream's also keeping with him as well on those medium tyres. Great to see.
Move on here. The Grieve is starting to the Grieve is having to hold off weight quite a lot from Red Nass as they're rounded the final corner, as Red Nass is about to go into the never mind. The Grieve goes into the pit, so his first pit stop. Let's see what he goes on to. I feel like he's going to go into the other I think he's going to go into a set of hards.
Yeah, it would make sense from here. He'd have to do 23 laps to the end of the race. Well, I know he's going for the mediums. He's doing a two-stopper.
Yeah.
He's going for a two-stop here, so away he goes now. So I wonder whether maybe he's banking on a safety car. Obviously, this man here, Game for Life, running in P15. He's just about on the lead lap. He's not far away from being lapped, though. You know, Game for Life needs to keep his wits about him, and he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits as well, which will obviously play havoc with what he's able to do by the time we get to the end of this race.
Wow. The fastest lap, without looking at it yourself. To think about, you probably saw it already, but what do you think's the fastest lap, and who do you think has it?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess Game for Life got on his fresh softs.
Nope, it's Fuel Boy with a 17.4.
What's Joe Ram's fastest lap in a minute?
18.0.
Jesus, so he's what, 6/10 quicker?
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, I wouldn't have thought that, because the gap hasn't been coming down by that much. I wouldn't have thought it would be that much in favour, but wow, great pace from Thebo Boy at the moment, and we've seen ever since he's sort of shaken off the challengers, Snapstream and A. Thompson and Dubway as well, he's really come into his own, and he's started to, I wouldn't say take the fight to Joe Ram, the gap's too big for that, but he's definitely on a par with him at the moment in terms of overall pace. We see A. Thompson's in the pits, he's put the mediums on, so A. Thompson presumably going for a two-stop as well. Do any of these guys though in the top, well, let's see, we've got the top 10 are all still yet to pit. Do any of these guys put a set of mediums on at the end of this stint? I would have thought for Slapstream and Little Greavy it would be a no-brainer to put the hard tyres on and go to.
Yeah, I feel like Joe Ram's going to go for the mediums. I don't know why, I just have the hunch that Joe Ram is going to go for the mediums, and I feel like Fuel White is going to go for the hards.
Yeah, I'd say that going for the mediums, doing that two-stop is probably the safer bet, because you can push all the way, you don't need to do any tyre conserving or anything like that. You know, you can just go flat out, and for Joe at the moment, he's clearly got the pace. Although having said that, Thebo Boy is now starting to close that gap. Last time around, Thebo Boy I think gained about 0.4 of a second, so this is by no means over just yet. As we see, Magpie's made the move on Bennett. That's because Bennett's in the pits, and so is Little Greavy as well. So both of those two coming into the pits at the end of lap 11.
Bennett's getting some hards.
He is, Bennett. I'm not surprised at all to see Bennett rolling the dice. He's usually a man who will try and do something a little bit different in terms of the strategy. We've got Scooter Ripple in the comments. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, when you go, sorry.
Yeah, no, I just want to say a big welcome to Scooter Ripple, regular racer in our GT3s on ACC on a Sunday night. Says, evening all, shout out to my boys Joe Ram and Raki.
Well, it's good to have you back in the chat as always. But just when you were talking about doing a little bit of a different strategy, Little Greavy has went for a second set of softs.
So I'd assume he's probably going for mediums at the end. But the thing is, I think at this stage in the race, when you still kind of like, a load of people are still kind of like in a bit of a cluster, you know, to me it just doesn't seem like it's going to work, because you've still got to make your way through. It's not like you can fully go for it. And, you know, I suppose he's got 7 seconds up the road, I guess, to A. Thompson. So I don't know, maybe,
yeah, but by the time he's got up there, his tires will be dead.
Yeah, that's the thing. He'll catch up to A. Thompson, and then A. Thompson will be putting, I imagine, the softs on for his final stint, and Little Groovy will be putting the mediums on for his final stint. So I don't know.
Just a purple second sector there, so he did. Little Greavy did.
I think what he's trying to do. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to put in the laps now, and then who knows, maybe he'll catch up to A. Thompson. He might have the pace to pass him, and then at which point he can then be in a position where he can try and defend it in the last part of the race. So he's doing the hard work now, and then he's going to try and sit on whatever advantage he gains
Raki's
at
off.
the end. Oh, Raki, yeah. Recce there is off onto the gravel. One of the Constructors champions in the Red Bull from last season, him and his son Joam took the title, and he's just had a big moment there coming through turn 1.
His tyres must be on fire, because as soon as his tyres hit that tarmac, he just kept on spinning.
Yeah, definitely not what he needs at all. But currently Joam in the pits, race leaders coming in at the end of lap 12. Does Steve Boy do the same? No, he's staying out. He's really pushing those soft tyres a long way here. Slapstream staying out.
Mediums.
Yeah, I thought he would. You thought he would as well, didn't you? You called that one. Yeah, Joam, generally, it's very rare that you see Joam put the hard tyres on. He usually goes for the more orthodox strategies. And once again, he's done exactly that. Thebo Boy, what's he going to do here? Is he going to put the hards on, go for a one-stopper and try and outgun Joam here? Maybe that's going to be his best opportunity of taking the win. Gap was only around 5 seconds, so he's not going to have to do that much in terms of, well, the gap's going to be a fair bit back to Joam, 20 seconds. So it's all about now what he can do on these on the remaining laps on these soft tyres, and then how long can he make the hards on, if indeed he does put the hards on at the end of the race. That's the big question here. But yeah, Thebo Boy in a good position, could potentially be in with a shout of the win. And Slapstream, to be fair, on the medium tyres as well, those tyres are going to be starting to come back to him now, whereas you've got Thebo Boys who are going to be absolutely on the ragged edge at this stage. Slapstream's tyres probably just about starting to scratch the surface now. Lap 13 on those mediums, they'll be just about starting to go off. Thebo Boys are going to be hanging on for dear life. I would be very surprised if he doesn't come in this lap, and he is coming in, yeah. So he is coming to make that pit stop. Slapstream probably can go for another 3-4 more laps comfortably, and then I imagine he'll be putting the hard tyres on it. He wouldn't want to go too long on his mediums, because I think by this point...
Oh, he's going for the mediums? Oh, Fuel Boy's going for the mediums. Yeah,
oh, wow.
For the mediums.
He's going to try and go 18 laps on the mediums. That is going to be a very tall order indeed. But what I'm wondering here, Slapstream, is he going to try and go so long on those mediums that he can then put the softs on, maybe?
It's possible. During a couple of career races, I have tried to do that. It's a very tricky window to try and get correct between trying to get as much life out of the mediums as possible without pushing them too hard to where they fall off too fast, and then trying to get into the window of being able to get your softs comfortably to the end without completely dropping them off a cliff. It's a very hard window to try and catch.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not easy to find that balance. But I mean, if say he can go to the end of lap 19, which is a real stretch on the medium tyres, but say he's able to get it there, you can probably do about 13 laps on the soft. We've seen, I mean, Mark Bowe here has done, he's on his 16th lap on these soft tyres, and he's still going. I think he might have actually changed his tyres. I don't know if he changed his tyres actually. End of lap 1, it looks like he might have changed his tyres at the end of lap 1, but he has gone an age on those soft tyres. He's made them last forever, really. I'm sure he'll be looking to try and put the mediums on soon. But
who are we talking about here?
Mark Bowe.
Mark?
Look at him, he's done 14 laps on the soft.
Yeah. Well, look at Slapstream. He's done 15 on those mediums, so it's definitely. This definitely seems like more of a at this stage of the race. It is definitely more of a medium tyre range compared to a lot of people. Bennett and Horatio have both opted to go into the hard tyre. So they have. Bennett, of course, went on 3 laps ago, and Horatio just went on just now. It's just a matter of time before we see if any of the other soft tyre runners end up making the change to the hard or the medium tyre.
Yeah, I mean, Bennett's in a good position here. The pit stop, I would say, around here is probably around 25 seconds. So, what, Bennett is about 23 seconds. Oh, his profile was retired from the race. Is that going to be a safety car here? Yes, it is. It is a safety car. That is going to completely and utterly nullify any of these strategies, and Slapstream has now got a free pit stop here.
Yeah.
But he's already crossed the start and finish line. Oh, no.
Well,
what a shame for Slapstream.
You'll get one more extra lap to be able to do that. To be able to do that pit stop, because it takes.
I get that, but he's going to come out in the middle of the pack this time now.
Yeah, but he'll still have the fresher tyres, mind.
Yeah, but I tell you what, if that safety car had come out maybe 5 seconds earlier than it did, then Slapstream would have been able to bring it in for a free pit stop, and he would have come out in the lead with fresh.
Oh, Thompson has been disqualified for ignoring the yellow flags.
Oh no, hey Thompson, what's he doing?
He was trying to pass Slapstream, so he did, and I believe it was one of the Mercedes that is no, sorry, one of the other cars.
What on earth is he doing?
It was who was it? It was Horatio that also went flying past the safety car as well, but he did not get disqualified.
Yeah, he can. He's allowed to.
But so is Thompson.
How strange! I don't know what's happened there. But Horatio obviously within his rights to unlap himself. But wow, I mean, A. Thompson there. I don't know whether or not he had to call maybe the race director, maybe race control were telling him he could go through. I don't quite know exactly what's going on there, but Horatio's going round to obviously join the pack. He'll get round to them probably in an lap or two's time. Raki in the pits, putting fresh softs on. That was another hiccup there. But
as it stands right now, we only have 2 hard tyre runners, Naz, Horatio and Bennett. The only Raki is the only one that's actually opted to go for the softs again, besides the little preview that went on to them a couple of laps ago, as Slapstream decides to peel into the pits and give up his first place in favour of new shoes, trying to see if he can try and get back up there and take the fight to trail round, because he seems like he has got a lot of pace, Slapstream, right now.
He has got a lot of pace. Obviously he'll be frustrated that he missed out on being able to make that free pit stop just as the safety car came out. He must have gone past the pit lane just as the safety car got called out. Literally wrong place, wrong time there for Slapstream. You know, not his fault in any way, shape or form, just got very, very unlucky there, and I dearly hope that he's able to get a good result here despite that, because he doesn't deserve to have to face a difficult result.
Went soft.
He has gone for the soft, so he's obviously banking on the safety car staying out for a little while here, and maybe, I don't know, if the safety car cut stays out until end of lap 19 or 20, then we might be having less laps, racing laps.
Because it doesn't come back in until everybody's bunched up, so I'm going to say at this point, it's by the time that they get there, I'm going to say it's probably going to be about midway through lap 19 that they catch up, so I'm going to say we're going to go back to green flag at lap 20.
Yeah. Well, you reckon it won't be till lap 20 we go green?
Yeah, I'm going to say that, because it's... Well, actually...
Might be next lap, who knows, we might just get round, Raki and Horatio might just get there in time to go at the end of the next lap. We'll have to see. It's going to be close though. I mean, it's going to be tight.
Slapstream is revving the absolute mother out of that for hour right now in second gear.
Yeah, he absolutely is. But here we are then. Joe Rum ahead of Thibaut, ahead of Derby Bay, ahead of Magfire. Those four, the top four. Bennett LCFC in a decent position here, but he's on slightly worn out hard tyres, but the guys in front of him opted for track position and have stayed out, didn't opt to pit for fresh tyres under this safety car. So they're all in a similar position really here, and those medium runners are going to start to experience tyre deg quite a bit earlier than Bennett is, because obviously Bennett running on those more durable hard tyres. Bennett can easily go to the end of the race on those hard tyres. Those medium runners will start to feel ever so slightly a bit of wear by the time we get to the end. So Bennett in a decent position here, might be able to challenge the likes of Joe and Thibaut, Darve and Magfire for this win, as we see Horatio's pulling up onto the back of the pack now. So we're just waiting on Raki, and I reckon we should be able to go this lap.
Well, we're lap 19, so we're going to be going green as we hit lap 20, so my prediction is going to be bang on.
Yep, absolutely. I was thinking to myself, when you said we'll be going on lap 20, I thought you meant at the end of lap 20.
No.
Yeah, so that was why that was the source of the confusion there. We got Didi in the comments says go Raki Marge. So obviously a big fan of Raki there, but Raki not having the race tonight, is he? You know what I mean? It couldn't have gone much worse for Raki here. Tonight.
But we've seen stranger things happen. We've seen people come back from a lot worse. So we have in worse circumstances. As long as the weather stays the same, I don't know what the weather report is like. I've not saw it, and I don't believe you have either. So we don't know whether the weather's going to stay the same.
No.
And the safety car is going to be coming in now as Gel Ram takes over at the pace of the pack.
So here we are then. So Gel Ram is going to be leading us away, but Thebo Boy in second place. Derby Bay chomping at the bit to get this back underway there, nipping at his heels there. You've got Magfire there in fourth place with Bennett there in P5, followed by the Grieve, who will be taking this restart in sixth place just behind Bennett. You've got Rednass there in seventh place, followed by Little Greavy. Should have some strong pace here in the final part of this race. Slapstream was leading before the safety car, but opted for fresh soft tyres. Could that benefit him with 13 laps left to go in this race? Can he keep those working all the way to the end? Mark Bow in 10th, followed by Gamefly, Horatio and Raki. And here is Joe. I'm about to get this race underway once again here.
As it's completely up to Joe Ram whenever he sticks his foot down, as he does. We are green, not quite yet. We are green now, and we are good to go.
Rednass is dropping down the field like a stone here. He's down to 8th place here on this restart, but we've got Joe Ram here leading us as we see Thievo Boy there holding ahead of Derby Bay. We see Rednass there getting the move done up the inside of Little Greavy, so he's back up into P7 there, but Joe Ram is clearing away. He's already got over a second of a gap, and Little Greavy, what's happened to Little Greavy? Oh, he's dropped out to the foot of the pack here. I didn't see what happened to Little Greavy. He's had a nightmare there. Mark Bowes lost out to Game for Life. Game for Life's up into 9th place. And Joe Ram leads this race, coming to the hairpin for the first time on this restart. We've got Slapstream ahead of Rednass into 7th place, and Raki there has got himself into 11th place ahead of Horatio. But right now it's Joe Ram out in front, and he looks to be trying to put daylight between himself and the rest of these guys here. Bennett has got ahead of Derby Bay up into 3rd place on those hard tyres. So good move there from Bennett LCFC. But Joe Ram seizing his opportunity on this restart and did not think twice. He was not hanging around there, was he, Ian?
No, he was not. It could have went a little bit sooner, you know, but that's just my personal preference. But right now he's took it. I feel like that was a pretty good restart there as Slapstream just went round the inside of Magfire as a pump to the
P6. We saw a bit of an incident there. Sorry, mate. We just saw Little Greavy and Horatio have a little bit of a ding dong. They were scraping side pods there as they were coming out of that last chicane, but Little Greavy manages to squeeze through into 12th place as he's used most of his battery there. We've got Joe Ram still leading the race, and we see Slapstream there down the inside of Little Greavy. Sorry, the Grieve even. They're two brothers there, the Grieve and Little Greavy. But Slapstream there up into P5, so nice move there. Slapstream is really making gains here on these fresh soft tyres. The question is, can he keep them working till the end, or are they going to run out of tread? Obviously he's pushing hard in the traffic here, which is only going to make the tyre wear even worse, but he's now looking to make the move here, feinting to the inside there, coming into the hairpin on Derby Bay. Derby Bay at the moment holding on, holding firm, and we see Slapstream in the slipstream here coming towards the this left hand at the top of the hill. At the moment it looks as though Derby Bay's got just enough here to hold Slapstream up, at Slapstream really on a charge here on this restart. He knows he needs to make hay, he needs to make it now whilst the sun's shining on him, because it won't be shining on him for long, with those soft tyres being the durability of those not really the best compared to these mediums and softs, although albeit his tyres are fresher than the drivers in front of him. Little Greavy's got into 11th place ahead of Raki there coming into the final chicane. Mark Bowes picked up a 3-second time penalty at the moment, but closing stage of this race really. Yep, nice one there from Slapstream round the outside of that hairpin. That's not easy at all, but he's making it look easy. And Joe Ram at 1:17.4. Slapstream only 4/10 slower though in traffic.
Wow.
So Slapstream
that shows the difference between the softs and the mediums around this track while in traffic.
He's only 4/10 slower, and he had to make 3 overtakes on that lap, which that is absolutely incredible stuff there from Slapstream. But Joe Ram's got a 1.6 second gap. Thievo Boy matching him at the moment. Slapstream has done Bennett as well. Look at this man go in the Ferrari. He is out on a mission here at the we're into the final third of this race, and Slapstream is absolutely flying here. But the thing is, he's already done 3 racing laps on these soft tyres. He's got 10 laps left to go. He's going to have to do 13 laps on those soft tyres. It's not like he's pacing them. It's not like he's taking it easy and looking after them. He is making overtakes. He is making moves. He is absolutely pushing that Ferrari as hard as it will go. But at the moment it's working for him. Hopefully for him he can keep those going all the way to the end. We see Little Greavy's got ahead of Mark Bow up into 9th place. Gamefly's pulling up onto the back of Rednass a little bit. Rednass has got Magpie just in front of him. These guys having a good tasty little battle. But Slapstream currently on a charge here as he's done 3 laps on these soft tyres and is going to get them to last another 10 laps here. He'll be closing up onto the back of Thebo Boy and Joram over the next few laps. We'll see where he can get to, but he's just done it. Yet another fastest lap, and he had to overtake Bennett through the Villeneuve chicane on that last lap as well.
Oh, hats off to him. This definitely proves that we are in a game, because there's no way in any kind of physical sense that a Ferrari would be able to do that, and that, especially with
a driver with no helmet on.
Yeah, that too. Especially because your eyes will be dry as oh hell. If that was the case, you'll definitely need some water from eye drops after this race.
Yeah, absolutely. But and also the fact that it wouldn't pass the safety regulations. You'd get a massive fine. I mean, mate, like the whole race would be black. Everyone would be black flagged. They'd be like, no, everyone get in the pits. You're never racing again. The Ferrari team would be kicked out of F1 forever. It was, it'd be a disaster. But right now, Thebo Boy, look at this here. He's really closing up onto the back of Joram here. Only 6/10 separating these two as they're coming out of the final corner. And Thebo Boy will get DRS down this start-finish straight. Can he make it work for him here? As he's just dropped a little bit back off of him coming out of the corner, as we see the Joram in the Red Bull has got good traction, but Thebo Boy in the AlphaTauri just seems like he's losing a bit of time out of the corners. He's got that straight line pace, but he just hasn't really got the pace on the exits of the corners. Joram is leaving him for dead out of those slower corners at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Red Bull. All the cars are on equal performance, but I still feel like something about that Red Bull is, regardless of what you do to it, it's always going to have the better exit speed compared to a lot of the cars on the grid.
Indeed, yeah. The cars, although they're supposed to be equal in performance, they're not equal in terms of their characteristics. So the online cars, so they do differ in the way that they handle, but they're all supposed to be, on the whole, they're supposed to more or less have the same capabilities in terms of lap times. But Game for Life, whilst we were just chatting about the cars there, we saw Game for Life getting ahead of Rednass up into 7th place, and we saw Raki there making a move on Mark Bow, and he's already pulled out a bit of a gap to him. Raki on fresh soft compared to Mark Bow, also on fresh tyres but on the medium tyres, so Raki's now already extending that gap in that final points paying position. His son and teammate Joram is leading the race, but he's got Thebo very much piling the pressure on, and Slapstream is coming after both of these guys in 3rd place. The question is, can Slapstream keep his soft tyres going all the way to the flag? That is going to be a real challenge for him, as we see Slapstream another fastest lap of the race there. He is flying and he is really coming for these top two, as we see Magfire has made the move on Game for Life. No, he hasn't, as we see Bennett's into the pits. That's what that is. Bennett LCC coming in, presumably putting the soft tyres on, I would imagine. Yes, fresh soft going on Bennett's car. Maybe he's banking on a safety car, who knows? Potentially banking on a safety car.
Well, he's got that's what 7 laps left. It's very easy to get those back to the get those to the end from here, but I don't see it being worth the trade-off for losing as many places in the pits.
Absolutely, you see there Little Greavy getting ahead of Rednass into 7th. In fact, Rednass has lost out to Raki as well. What's happened here to Rednass? He seems to have the front wheel intact, but he's lost a lot of time there coming out of the hairpin. So Rednass there, he's obviously on the medium tyres, so he might just be able to get these to the end, but he's really struggling out there at this point. As we see the gap coming down to 0.2 of a second here at the front. If Thebo Boy can get a solid exit out of this last corner, he would have a great chance at making a move for the lead here. Joram, the champion of the F1 League, has led most of this race here at Imola tonight. It looks like his lead might be about to go here though, as Thebo Boy pulls out to the left, and he's already made the move here before we even get to the braking zone. Slapstream fastest lap of the race coming for both of these two, but Thebo Boy up into the lead of the race here on lap 26. Oh, he's lost it! Oh no! Oh my god! He's lost it just as after he took the lead! Incredible scenes! I did not see that coming.
Unfortunately, even if he did manage to keep the lead, I don't think he would have been able to do much, as it does have a 6-second penalty on his record right now, so I don't think either way it would have made any difference.
Yeah, absolutely. He's obviously got that penalty for track limits at some point throughout this race, but I mean, he would have obviously known that, and it would have obviously affected him in his mind already. But we see Horatio there has already also picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits as well. And we got Slapstream there running in second place at the moment. He's 2.5 seconds behind the race leader Joram at the moment. So it looks as though Slapstream now into P2 with Thievo Boy obviously having that big moment there. What a shame though, because he put in the work, you know. He really did fight for that, and he got the lead coming into the first corner, and then got a bit overexcited maybe. Knew he had to pull out the gap with the penalty. Knew he needed to do it and needed to do it now. Panicked a little bit. Who knows? But ultimately he's down in P6 now. So all of that hard work was for nothing. But we see Thievo Boy coming into the pits, and presumably he's going to put on a set of soft tyres and go for the fastest lap at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would definitely make a lot more sense than just sitting where he is. It's better to try and get that extra point and you know, sit where you are, as he is going for a newer set of softs.
Indeed, yes.
And a new wing.
He's been held for some time there as he eventually is released from his pit box, so he's going to come out. Well, it looks like he's going to come out in P12 here, so he's not going to get any points for fastest lap as he's not in the top 10. He could potentially nab it off of somebody else, but he's not going to get it for himself, that is for sure. But maybe he's feeling a mood of, if I'm not going to get it, nobody's going to get it. I know that feeling, I know that. But anyway, onto the lead, battle for the lead. We got Slapstream 1.6 behind Joram at this point, and Mark Bowe's out of the race. Where is he? That is the big question here. Where is he? Joram and Slapstream are coming up on the scene. Surely it's going to be a safety car because the leaders are coming round on the scene.
Well, he's in the pits. He's in the pits.
Oh, he's in the pits. Ah, okay. Fair play. So it looks like they're going to recover it under double waved yellow flags in sector 1 there. But Slapstream's really coming after Joram. We don't know what the penalty situation is for Slapstream. What's he got in terms of time penalties?
3.
3 second time penalty for Slapstream. So
it's a slim margin.
It is, and obviously he's on the soft tyres as well. You know, which he's been going for some time on those now. Admittedly, a couple of those laps were under safety car, but I think 13 racing laps we calculated in the first place was what he would have to do if he were to make these last the distance. So yeah, it's going to be a real stretch for him. I tell you that. It's not easy to do a 13 lap stint on the soft tyres at all, and I think that it's. He's really going to be earning his bacon here if he does manage to get this win, if he manages to get ahead, not just get ahead of Joram, but also pull out the gap to him and get himself that advantage by the time we get to the end. I don't know. We'll have to obviously keep an eye on it here. We'll get DRS coming down the start-finish straight as we see Joram got better traction out of the last corner, despite having the medium tyres on, warm medium tyres at that. He's still getting a good exit out of that last corner. He's getting great drive with that extra downforce that he's running on that Red Bull. And we see there Slapstream closes the gap down to 0.6, half a second even, as it came into the braking zone. But as soon as you hit those brakes, Joram just seems to have that edge, despite having the medium tyres. I think maybe those soft tyres starting to go off a little bit now. So in terms of the tyres, they're pretty much on level playing field here, because Joram on the slower mediums has suffered from a bit of wear at this point. Slapstream on those softs, they will be pretty much starting to crumble at this point. He's got to go 3.5 more laps on them though, so he's got to eke every bit out of them that he can here at this point, riding on board with the Ferrari as they're coming through the middle sector of the lap, and he is absolutely on a charge here. But Joram has led this one pretty much for most of it. Thievo Boy did briefly head him, but albeit with a time penalty, so Joram wouldn't have been too worried when he saw Thievo Boy made the mistake. He would have been even less worried when he saw Thievo Boy spin out in front of him, because at that point he would have known that he's pretty much safe from Thievo Boy. But Slapstream is coming for him, but 3 second penalty, as we've said many times. But now he's definitely close enough to make a move with DRS, so this is surely going to be the opportunity. Slapstream, I'll be very surprised if he isn't in the lead by the time we get to the end of this start finish straight. Here we go, rear wing wide open for the Ferrari, as he's now going to get that closing speed on the Red Bull, and this is going to be it for Slapstream. This is going to be the moment, this is going to be the chance to take the race lead, as here we go to the outside. Joram's going to make it hard for him here, but he's going to look to the outside. He brakes late. Oh, he's still there, and he has to ride over the sleeping policeman there, as we see Joram just about squeezing through and holding on to the lead. But Slapstream absolutely all over the runoff area there.
The only thing that could have made that more realistic is if that Ferrari was actually a Mercedes. That would have emulated Imola in real life there.
It definitely would have. First lap at Imola this season, Max Verstappen being overly aggressive as per usual. But
no.
No, I'm not knocking the guy.
he was.
I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not. It's not a dig. It's not a dig.
No, but he was entitled to that. He was entitled to that lane. Hamilton should have backed off.
He did. Oh, what's happened? Slapstream's lost it. Slapstream is in the barriers. What a shame. Oh, Joram's just been handed a walkover at the end of this race. Slapstream was all over the back of him. He's lost his front wing, and that is going to promote your man Derby Bay into P2 here, Ian. It's going to put Game for Life on the podium. Who would have thought? Game for Life was down and out at the start of this race. He's running in P15 in the early stages, and the safety cars have helped him, but he has really had to work for this. And I'm so happy for Game for Life because he has earned his spot here.
We may have a safety car here. Oh,
they try not to bring it out, don't they, at this stage in the race? Yeah, they've managed to do it. They managed to sort that out without a safety car.
Red Nash going slowly. He's got going now.
As we see Game for Life here looking on Derby Bay, having to use the grass a little bit there. He's got the inside for the second part of the Villeneuve chicane, and he's going to squeeze around him there. Game for Life up into P2. Great drive from Game for Life here tonight. Fair play to him. Utmost respect to the man in the McLaren, because he has absolutely charged through the pack here, and he's going to get his reward. He's going to get 18 championship points. I think Game for Life might end up leading the championship after this. It's going to be actually very close between Game for Life and Joram, and even Derby Bay, because I don't know, can't remember where Derby Bay finished last week, but I think he was up there, so could be quite close in the championship. Aldrich Avist will lose the championship lead, as he couldn't make this week. But Bennett's got a 10-second penalty for track limits there down in P11, so that's not gone to plan in any way, shape or form for him. But it's Game for Life starting to pull away a little bit from Derby Bay at this point. Magpie, they're running in 4th place, couple of seconds behind Derby Bay, then a couple of seconds back to Little Greavy running in 5th place. Raki in 6th place in the Red Bull, the teammate of Joram. It's a good points haul for the reigning constructors champions here at Motive, as they're running in 1st and 6th places here. The Grieve has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and the penalties are coming in thick and fast here at the end of this race. Horatio's done a good stint on those hard tyres. He's done 15 laps on those.
Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but if Derby Bay can keep up the gap that he's got right now to Game for Life, he will be re-promoted back up to P2, because Game for Life is currently sitting with a 9-second penalty on him.
Ooh, that is a hefty amount of time penalties there for Game for Life. That is going to knock him back by quite a bit here when we get to the end of this race. We see Slapstream. Yeah, we see Slapstream there has got ahead of Rednass up into 9th place, but Rednass is, in fact, he's got ahead of Thievo Boy, around the outside of Thievo Boy up into 8th there. So Slapstream making gains here at the end of this race, but he'll be gutted that the race win slipped away from him here. He's on the back of Joe. I mean, knew he had to pull out a 3-second gap with the time penalties that he had, but nonetheless, I'm sure he will be absolutely kicking himself with that one. But we're going to go to the race leader Joram here, as he's got half a lap, or not even half a lap, he's at the last corner even. Joram here, out of the last corner here, the reigning champion of the Motive F1 League here on the PlayStation 4 and 5. He's going to take round 2 of the season. He had a disaster of a week last week in the first round up Bahrain, but he's going to more than make up for it this time out here for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Well done to Joram, taking his first win of the season and getting his title defence well and truly on track. Game for Life comes over to take a P2 here, but Derby Bay's going to get it on the penalties, as we see there the Red Bull of Joram parked on the start finish line, making an absolute wreckfest of a show there. Magfire gets the podium ahead of Game for Life as well, so Game for Life loses out on the podium. Little Greavy takes 5th place there in the end. Raki is going to come around to take a 6th place finish here in this race in the end. Some good points there. 33 points for the Red Bull team in their constructors bid. Slapstream got a little grief for 7th place, and we see there lots of cars there tagging Joram as he comes over the line. Rednass 8th, the Grieve 9th, followed by Thebo Boy, who's going to take the final point here, and I believe fastest lap
Horatio that's left.
Who was fastest lap? I think it might have been Thebo Boy.
It was.
Yeah, Thebo Boy gets the fastest lap point as well, because he finished in P10, so that's obviously great news for him. But that is that for the Formula 1 League round 2 of the season here at Motive. I want to say a big shout out to Scuderia Pool team, Tense Racing there at the front. Well done all, congratulations to at Joram22. Also says hi to Didi there. Victor Alvarez says the drama, great racing. We've got Arthur obviously feeling gutted there for Thebo Boys. He was chasing down and managed to get the lead off of Joram, but binned it just after he took the lead of the race. Didi also going to comments as well. Big thank you to Victor, Scuderia Pool, Arthur, Didi, Ratched, and Game for Life for your comments here tonight. Guys, if you like what you see, 10 of you watching at the moment, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Go to www.motiveracing.com if you're watching us for the first time. What a race that was here, though. Joel Ram taking the win and getting his title defence very much on the right tracks here at last here in the second round of the season. Derby Bay and Magpie completing the podium. Iain, it's been an absolute joy having you join me in the commentary box again. Hopefully you won't be I say this from a selfish point of view, hopefully you'll be able to join me for a few more comms this season, because it's much more fun having you alongside me than it is on my own. So hopefully you'll be
I'll try my best.
Hopefully you won't be returning to the track too soon. But yeah, big thank you to you, mate, and thanks to everyone who joined us. We will see you in the next one. Have a great evening, and enjoy the weekend.
See you.